right, you guys. We are back. It's the infamous Donovan Sadiq with Demetra K. Don't believe the hype on the Demetra K show. We are talking about financing holiday madness. Now, what do I mean when I say financing holiday madness?
You mean buying stuff that you can't afford? And then you're financing by using credit cards and money that's not really yours. It's borrowed money to get instant gratification for people who probably don't deserve it.
Right, exactly. So there is a new phenomenon, and I think this is very important because a lot of people are not paying attention to what is going on in the financial markets as we talk about. Now, you guys, have you heard about the new FICO scores that are going to be coming out next year?
I heard about it, but I didn't get in detail.
Exactly. And a lot of people have heard about it or heard rumors of it.
It's supposed to be like
a new scoring system.
Yeah, it's going to be harder to, I guess, have a better, a good credit rating.
Right.
Yeah.
A FICO score. So if you're not aware of that now and you're screwing up your shit now, nobody wants to hear all that when you want to go get this and go
Donovan,
get that.
I need some brand new Christian Louboutins.
I hear you. I hear you. But you better go around the corner to the swap meet and see what you can get and get that knockoff.
I need them $900 jammies.
Okay, so and it's very important now. This is the time of year where we have a lot of single families. And when I say single family, I'm trying to be nice because, people don't like when I say single mothers. But that is...
It ain't that I don't like it. Do you, brother?
All right. So you got these single mothers that are head of these single families. And these mothers, God bless you guys. I'm not saying what you guys are doing is wrong. I was raised by a widowed mother. You had your parents and a stepfather as well.
I was always raised in a two-parent home.
Right, I was raised in a two-parent home. God bless you moms that are out there working. But here's the problem. Why are you going to go and put yourself under all of that stress and all of that effort when you got badass kids sitting at home that don't appreciate shit anyway?
Well, if you're asking me, because I never did that. I never bought my daughter stuff that I couldn't afford to pay for. I tried not to anyway. But I think a lot of it, since you brought up single mothers, I think a lot of it is done out of guilt.
Guilt of what?
Guilt of, I don't know, maybe not being able to, buy stuff for you and, give you all that you really want. And so here comes Christmas time and I'm going to, finance this stuff, since that's what you brought up, finance this stuff, credit cards or whatever the case is. And then a lot of people just fall into the giant marketing machine. Well, they in quotation say that I need to go out there and spend all this money because, it's Christmas time.
Right. Now,
and then if your kids have to go back to school after the Christmas break without the latest shoes or, phone or whatever toys they're playing with, then people are going to talk about them. And so I can't send my kid to school and have people ridicule them because they didn't get the latest whoop-de-whoop.
So basically we're going to instill in our kids keeping up with the Joneses.
Absolutely. That's what it's about. Keeping up with the Joneses. Absolutely.
So if the Joneses jump off remember that grandma used to say that, jumps off the bridge, we're going to follow. We're going with them.
We're going right behind with the Joneses.
Okay,
right.
Okay. Okay. There you go. So,
right. And most people don't even know what the term "keeping up with the Joneses" originated from.
Yeah,
it originated from. It was the and I could be wrong, but it came out of the aristocratic society where this guy, he made dishes, these high-end dishes. I think it was in the 1700s, if I'm not mistaken. These fine china dishes and all this other stuff. And I think his last name was Jones or something like that. And so to have that set of dishware meant that you have made it.
Yes.
Because everybody couldn't afford those. And so I think that's where the term it came from.
Okay.
Keeping up with the Joneses.
Okay. Because when I was coming up, the dishware, we used to get, my grandmother used to get the, out of the detergent box, you get the little glass, it was just, and the green stamp thing. That's when you go cash all that in. But anyway.
Give it down.
Here's my point. I just received today a letter in regards to my credit. I recently joined USAA, which is a military-friendly financing corporation, and they give great rates when it comes to insurance, stuff like that. Now, your credit rating is very, very important.
Absolutely.
And one of the ills that hurts the Black community is our credit rating. And the thing is, we self-inflict damage to ourselves by doing the dumb shit that we do, by trying to provide a Christmas that is unaffordable, especially when you know your kids ain't shit. Okay.
Oh wow.
You
Damn.
You know what I mean? I mean, because it doesn't make sense to me if your son and your daughter is bringing home Fs, why would you reward them because it's Christmas?
Because they told you to.
Exactly.
They told you to. Me personally, I just never ascribed to the. Then my daughter get Christmas presents and stuff. Yeah, sure. But she never believed in Santa Claus. I never taught her those things. My daughter's birthday is the day after Christmas, and so
Christmas baby.
Yeah, so I mean, she's gotten things, but it was never you have to have this. Oh, I gotta go get you this. It's like, well, you'll get what I think you should have. There's some Christmases she didn't get anything. You know, it was okay.
Me too. Yeah. Because of the situation.
Yeah, right. Whatever the situation is, but I never raised her to think you have to do this.
But here's the thing, though. She didn't get nothing on that Christmas. I bet you she was young enough to where she doesn't remember that.
Yeah, but then again, her birthday is the day after Christmas, and
right.
so she would always get stuff.
Right.
Well, unfortunately, people shortchange her that way to try to combine it. But I always tell them, if your kids got something on their birthday,
your daughter needs to get something on her birthday.
Right. Don't be trying to, this is a multi-faceted.
Well, no. You know, when I say combine it like that, if she was my niece or something like, well, she will be soon. You know, my niece and her birthday was like that. When I say combine it, if I'm going to combine something, I'm going to get her a gift that would be significant enough. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, it'd be like,
I mean, I've done that before too. Like,
it's like, hey, I spent a lot of money on this, right?
I've gotten her a computer, and that was, hey, baby,
that's
this is both.
Yeah,
right.
You know, something like that.
Start opening at 11:59.
Right.
Christmas, and then by the time Christmas goes.
Or how about this? Here's the monitor.
Right.
Here's the CPU.
There you go.
Okay, so
yes.
But a lot of us don't pay attention to our credit scores. Now, I just got a thing that they offered me a credit card, and they gave the APRs, the variable APRs and stuff like that. Now, do I need this credit card? Absolutely not. I will never pay for a credit card where I got to pay a $35 annual fee, depending on where you're going. You know, I'm not going to do that.
Right.
Just
especially
to have the card.
You can get some other ones.
Yeah, for zero. But what I'm saying is, it's very important that we stay on top of our credit, because what's coming up now is they're changing the game again to keep us from getting future purchases and
keep you in debt.
So on Dee's Show Sunday, we were talking about things to get people for Christmas, or holiday madness, as I call it. And I call it holiday madness because I do not understand how you can be on Section 8 or you do not have money. It doesn't have to necessarily be Section 8. I'm not saying kids don't go without
I ain't said
Christmas.
A word, brother. I'm just listening.
Yeah, I'm not saying don't go without Christmas, but what I'm saying is you're giving them a Christmas that you can't sustain, and then it doesn't make sense how Christmas is over. Now you're in debt.
But you want to know the truth about it all?
Yeah,
is most people can't afford to buy their kids the Christmas that they're buying them. Right. Most people cannot do that. This coming Friday, you're going to see a bunch of people in the malls
fighting, catching a case,
buying stuff they can't afford to buy. Let's be honest, that's the 23rd, which is 7 days away from rent. You know, so how many people are going to be out there because they want to be, bumping elbows with Susan and them, running into the stores and getting all the sales, and then come rent is like, okay, listen,
Mr. Charlie,
you stupid.
I need to talk to you.
I gotta pay my rent, baby.
Yeah. I gotta talk to you, Mr. Charlie.
Yeah, what you want me to do, baby?
Exactly.
You want me to do that?
No, we're laughing.
I'm gonna need a little bit more money.
Yeah, but we're laughing, but that actually goes on. It really does.
Right.
And so what I'm saying is, here's the problem. You put yourself in that situation to where now you've worked all year long, whatever job you work, and now it is tax time. You can't even enjoy your tax money because you're still trying to
that's some bullshit. I'll tell you why. Because most people, they have a plan. Okay, I'm going to get all these presents now. I'm going to put it on the card and this, that, and then when my taxes come, I'm going to pay it off. But when the taxes come, it's like, well, I'm going to put 50 on this card.
Right.
And then 50 on that card. And then we finna go trick off the rest of this money.
And that's what I'm saying. We're in a world of perpetual debt when you can stop that. Now, people say, well, what's your answer? What's your thing? On the Demetra K show, if you guys had tuned in, that is on Facebook Sundays at 3 p.m. And she talks back to you guys live. What we said was, somebody asked me, what would you do? And I've never gone into debt for Christmas because,
okay,
I told my kids how it is. This is what I make. This is what your mama make. And this is what we're going to give you.
I'll give you a nice fruitcake, though.
Yeah. I mean,
chitlin loaf.
It brings back a funny story. I was talking to Pastor Don this morning, and we were talking about Christmas like we're talking right now, and gifts and stuff like that. And every time I go home to my mom, out of all the gifts I've ever given her, even up until this very day, there is only one gift I really think my mom really gives a shit about.
What's that?
The first gift I ever gave her. I was in kindergarten. Remember when you're in kindergarten, they give you a little handprint?
Oh, yeah.
And one day my mom thought she lost the handprint. It's in the curio cabinet, and it actually fell. Mom was only 5'4", so she didn't see it. Yeah. She's like, well, it's gone. She was freaking out. And I'm like, well, who cares? It was in kindergarten. But to her, that was the first thing that I ever made, and I gave her.
Was she doing like Martin Payne Mama when her
yes,
heard that?
Yes. Oh my God! She's freaking out. And I mean, she was like getting on me. I need you to look for that thing. I said, well, Mom, did you break it? Did you, whatever? She's like, no, it's here somewhere. Did you take it? That's the thing she's going to say. Somebody took it out of there.
Yeah, Ma, I got it. It impresses the ladies.
Yeah, I was like, why did I take it? But anyway, it had fallen and shit down. But it occurred to me that Christmas is not about gifts. Well, I've known that for a long time, but people got to remember, it's not really about gifts. It's about, number one, celebrating Jesus, even though we know Jesus wasn't born, whatever, but that's the day they celebrate it. Yeah, we are.
We'll go with that narrative.
Yeah, but we all know whatever. But that's whenever these pagans celebrate it. So, okay, so that's where we're at. But my point is, it should be more about getting together and being thankful that your family, you're breathing, you're doing all these things. That's what Kwanzaa was started.
But let me push back, though.
Push back.
Shouldn't you be doing that anyway?
Absolutely.
Do you need a day to tell you to get together with your family to be loving and giving? Shouldn't you just be doing that anyway?
Well, I can't because I got to work 3 jobs.
Well, I mean, and then you probably going to be working on Christmas too. Because now stores are open on Christmas and Thanksgiving.
And Thanksgiving, yeah.
So, I mean, and which is why I don't really subscribe to Thanksgiving, because I'm thankful all the time, believe it or not. I'm thankful for everything. Mm-hmm. When you get older, you just become thankful just because. Like I said, when I get up in the morning, put my feet on the ground, I say, thank you, God, for the blessings. Thank you, ancestors, for the lessons. Just, thank you for me. So my point is, some dude, I'm sure it was, some dude, said, okay, let's put this holiday on the calendar and we're going to make this a holiday on the calendar.
Take them niggas' money.
It's all about money. So I don't need the pagan holiday to tell me to spend time with you. And just like Valentine's, me and Al don't really do Valentine's. I know he loves me, at least I think he does.
Well, we know that because we don't see you for a week.
Right. And I know him. I don't need one day of the week to tell me, okay, tell your man you love him now. I mean, you should be doing that anyway.
Right.
So 364 days of the year, you just, hey, bitch.
Right.
Hey, motherfucker. I mean.
Right.
On Valentine's Day coming. Ooh, I'm going to wear those matching broad patty sets.
Right. Yeah. But that's my pet peeve. That's my pet peeve now. But, what I'm saying is, these young family members go into debt and they never catch up. And they never catch up.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
So the question is, what is something good that they should give their kids for Christmas?
Well, we mentioned a lot of things, but one thing we did not mention is give your kids, you ready for this?
Yes, I'm ready.
The truth. Give them the truth.
Hell no, you crazy?
It's not tangible, I know.
No, you give them the truth.
But it can be in so many
and wake them up. And wake them up.
Give your kids the truth. Listen, regardless, so don't worry about what's in my bank account, okay? My mom used to always say, don't talk your money. So
that's right.
It ain't about what's in mama's bank account, but I wanted to give you right here is a little bit of the truth. And the truth is, we don't need some man, to tell us to love and to give things to each other. And I damn sure ain't finna let no white man come down my goddamn chimney or allegedly and tell you that he done gave you some presents that I've bought. Just know that I love you every day of the year. I'm always giving you some. I gave you a roof. I gave you some water to wash your ass. I'm giving you something to eat. Because I used to tell my daughter, niece, and nephews jokingly, If I was to make something they didn't like, they'd be like, I don't like this. I said, right now it ain't about quality, it's about quantity. It's about you getting something to eat. And so tell them the truth. Now, anything over that I do for you is a privilege. Right. And I want you to be grateful for the things that I have to do, just as much as you would be grateful for the things that I don't have to do.
Amen. Amen.
So give them the truth. Just be honest with them.
Okay.
They'll be fine with that.
Right. And that's fine. Now, what are some tangible things that you can give that's going to give the number one, it won't break your bank account, and it'll give them longevity and give them something to think about.
So after you give them the truth, which is the ultimate gift that keeps on giving, and they'll be able to accept these other gifts, which is what we talked about: a life insurance policy, some stocks, some bonds, just a whole host of things. You can give them maybe a little bit of money to help them start a business. You can buy them some books. Books are always good.
Give them a piggy bank, $7.
Right. But they
start
teach
saving
them to keep the money,
right? Not
or to do something useful with the money, opposed to giving them, like you said, something that's going to depreciate the minute they open it. You know,
and then they're going to repeat the cycle that you just taught them.
Right. You know, trying to keep up, as you said, with the Joneses. I got to have the latest whoop-de-whoop, because when I was coming up, all of me, me and my siblings, we had jobs. I always tell people this. I worked since I was roughly 13, 14. Whether it was,
my first job was
selling the candy from door to door. So we always worked.
Hustle.
And I always tell people too, when I was in high school, my mom and dad did not buy my school clothes. Right. I bought my school clothes.
Yeah, we can tell.
No, baby, I was fly and fresh.
That's what I'm saying. We can tell.
But I was frugal though. Right. You know how many kids in high school with $1,000 in their bank account?
Exactly.
That was me.
Yeah, that wasn't me. That's for damn sure.
I mean, because I just saved money and I worked, but my mom never had to buy me those things. I paid for track, choir, because I had the money to do it. And so my mom used to say, well, shit, your money green like mine.
Right. Or, like, look, Mama, I want to be in the choir. Well, it's going to cost us
How
that.
much that going to cost?
Yeah. And then your mom be like, well, you got the money. Go ahead and do that.
But it taught me life lessons. It taught me to, like she would always say, your money is green like mine. And that was saying your money will spend just like mine. But that taught me not to trick off my money. Or, well, mama's got it. I'm going to just go into the mall and do all this and stuff that with my money. Right. I was able to buy myself. I don't say I took care of myself, because obviously my mom and dad paid the rent and that kind of stuff. But all the extra stuff that I wanted,
well, yeah, that money they didn't have to spend.
That was on me. But I was grateful, and I took those habits with me till this day. My sister's that way, and my brother's that way. Yep. And my other brother. I mean, we just we know how to appreciate money,
right? And not to trick it off. And so those that are listening, and we were giving out a lot of great ideas.
Yeah, like I said, life insurance policy for the price of a pair of Jordans, depending on how old or young your child is, that could pay up a policy for 3 years. Depending if you say it comes to $100 a year, less than $10 a month, that's a gift for 3 years. That's something they can use. God forbid they die. I'm not saying buying the policy because they might die. Well, we're all going to die. Right. But buy them a whole life policy, one that earns cash value.
And do it while they're young, because then it's going to be cheaper while they're young.
It's going to be cheaper while they're young, and it's something you teach them. You teach them patience as well. Right now, this is what I got you. I got you these stocks or these bonds or whatever. Right now, it's worth this, but if you wait for it and let it grow, and you put the money that you continue to get for allowance or whatever into it, it's going to be worth a lot more. So you teach them to wait instead of giving them that instant gratification. I need it right now.
Right. Or and I get tired of this. You see these kids now. My nephew, that boy's hard up with his money. He's like his sister. I mean, he's tight. He's tight with his money. He's, like if you go somewhere. Yeah, and I'm serious. You go somewhere, he knows he's going. He intentionally leaves his wallet.
Oh, I forgot my wallet.
Yeah.
Did you forget your appetite too?
Right, exactly. So teach them the right way. I'm not blaming them, but that's a good way to have, because he always has.
You don't want them to be a miser.
Right?
You want them to be wiser.
Right.
I get it. I'm not gonna spend all my money, but don't think. I mean, he's a child.
Yeah, he's a child right now. So,
but it's still never too. They're never too young to teach them how to take care of themselves. Because why should you trick off my money and I want to trick off yours?
Right. And here's the thing. okay, if you're of that mindset, I got to give my kids a good Christmas and even though you're on Section 8, you work at a warehouse or wherever wherever you're at, break the cycle. If you teach your kids to save their money, and then when Christmas comes around next year, it shouldn't be an issue with them getting presents because then they will know how to save so that they don't fall in the same trick.
And the cold part too is we know a lot of people, they have these Christmas clubs.
Yeah.
Where you can save up for all the way through October or something like that. You save up a certain amount of money, and then when November comes, you cash your money out, and then you go running like a banshee through the mall, spending all this money. But it's like, okay, if you can save for a Christmas club, why couldn't you save for an investment, a bond or something that's going to, give you a little bit more return of your investment opposed to just going to buy people stuff that they'll never appreciate anyway.
Right. And here's another thing. And I'm glad you brought that up. Christmas Club. Do you know that a Christmas Club account has a better rate than a regular savings account? So if you put your money into a Christmas Club account and put a little bit money in the savings, by the time it makes a better return than a regular savings account. So that's kind of smart if you do that. But see, how do you know that if you just trick your money off all the damn time? Yeah,
I mean, I don't know. I just I've never bought into the whole you have to because everybody else is going to. And,
right. And I've said this on a lot of shows. People say, well, stocks cost a lot of money. Yes, they do. Now, there's an app you can use. $5 is all you need to start investing in stock.
And I'll give you guys a good example of being frugal because I'm very frugal. I have this website and all this other stuff, a name that I bought. I won't say it on the air because I'm going to give it to my daughter. Okay. Once she graduates.
Nowhere to hide it.
No, not that. Okay. But I want her to develop it. It's and I've had actually a few people trying to get it from me. Mm-hmm. But my earrings probably cost $2. This outfit, this onesie pantsuit, $5. Mm-hmm. These shoes here, I don't know if y'all can see them. Mm-hmm. My shoes, right? $3 at the thrift store.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wearing less than $20. $20. Set two, $3 for the shoes, $5 for the outfit. That's $8, and $3 for the earrings. So
you got some drawers on, right?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, but so my point is, there's a way to do stuff and to be fashionable, if you will, but you don't have to break the bank to do that.
Right.
And so it's like you said, it's about being knowledgeable about how to go about doing those things. Mm-hmm. And like I said, I've just never been one to spend a bunch of money on clothes. Because for one, I don't love no designer to the point I'm going to give your ass $500 for a sock. Right. And you ain't going to give me nothing in return.
That app Stash that I just talked about, I use that to play. So I have this little extra money. So I give Stash $60 a week, $5 in individual different stocks. Okay. Now, $60 times 4, that's $240 that I'm actually saving. Not even thinking about it. I'm just like, it's saving.
Right.
If the stock makes money right now, the stock is going down right now, but that's because it's Trump and all that other stuff. But anyway, my point is this. $240 a month, times that by 12. That's almost $5,000.
Right.
That I don't even see. Now, that's a cup of coffee or whatever the deal is. So, $5,000, I have 2 children, boom. There's a nice big Christmas, and guess what? It's not on a credit card. It's not on my savings account. It's not affecting me because I put that in a different type asset. Plus, not including the dividends I get from investing in the stock.
Right. But the point is just get started. Start somewhere. Find somebody you trust and say, hey, I got a little bit of money. Mm-hmm. I want to start, investing it, growing it, and try to do something for the future. And because my mom taught me that very young. When I was in my 20s, I came into a big settlement from a lawsuit. And my mom came and picked me up and took half. I'm just playing. No, she didn't. She did.
Black China's mama. Woo, we made it.
She picked me up and took me to her investment banker and says, this is my daughter. She has this amount of money. We want to invest it. And the investment banker had a nice conversation with me. She says, are you going to touch this money? Right. Do you need this money? Said, no, I took some, Yeah. She says, leave it. Now leave it here. Mm-hmm. Just leave it. Don't touch it. Just act like it's not even here.
That's the lady that ran off with the money, right? No.
That's right. But the point that I'm making is my mom didn't say, girl, shoot.
Let's go.
Mm-hmm. Where we going to eat, girl?
Right.
Where we going? Your mama needs some new shoes. She didn't do that to me. She picked me up and took me right to her banker and says, this is the deal. This is what she has. Help her put it somewhere that's going to help her grow money. And another thing, too, God rest my mama's soul. You know, because when I think about her, I think about, like,
all
I didn't
the
think
knowledge.
about it. Yeah, because I didn't think about it then, but now that she's gone, when I first got back in the day, you know, when you have a child, you get your earned income credit and all of that. So you get a big check. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You get that big check on
y'all know, especially the ones y'all be claiming kids that ain't y'all's. So go ahead.
Like you claiming them kids, you got about 2 or 3, you ain't gonna claim. I'm going to give you $1,000 for them. But anyway, I digress. So when I was able to get my first big income tax check, because my daughter was, you know, young and stuff, which I didn't know a lot about that. Yeah. My mom did. She says, let me tell you something. She says, with this money you're going to get, she said it's going to be easy for you to want to go buy this and that and this and that. She says you can buy a house. You can have a down payment on a house. You can invest it. You can start a business. A lot of things you can do. And I'm glad she told me that, because never ever from that point forward that I ever trick. And I'm not saying that I'm going to go buy myself something that I didn't buy the year before. But I never just blew the money. As a running joke in our community, you go on the Red Lobster, you go on to the beauty supply, you're going to go get you and Ray and Pookie and all the kids going to get some Jordans and iPhones.
Big jackets. New York
all that
jacket
stuff,
with
and
the
then
fuzz.
come March or April, you're back to eating top ramen again. Right. So I never did that, because my mom told me, she says, you can change your life with the amount of money you're getting.
Now you said that? That's why Al targeted you.
You stupid.
I get it now, Al. Look, K-Fed, you want to come up, brother. I ain't mad at you.
But you know why you bullshit? They say that too. Matter of fact, that documentary I was telling you about that I was watching the other day that came out in the 80s, one of the guys that had a bunch of kids was saying, no, he didn't. He was just telling the white dude about the game, the reporter. He says, a lot of these dudes target the women who are getting welfare. So he says, a lot of these dudes got like 5 or 6 women because they know they can get a little piece of money here, a little piece of money there. And he said that's their job. That's their hustle.
Collecting, yep.
And so to that point, it's a joke like, okay, income tax season come around, Ray and Pookie finna
and
be
big
down.
old girls, yeah.
And then when the money gone, he gone.
He gone, exactly.
So be wise with your money.
Right.
There's a lot of stuff you can do. Like imagine if you didn't go Christmas shopping and get in debt, and let's say you really were going to use your income tax money to pay that off. Just don't go Christmas shopping, and you can have more money when your income tax comes.
Right. Let me ask you this as a mother. Why would you spend over $2,000 on a 2-3-year-old child?
I wouldn't do that. I mean, unless it was something like medically speaking.
No, that's medical. I'm talking about for
something
Christmas.
Something they needed, but no.
That's what I'm saying. The child doesn't even know it's Christmas.
It's just a waste of resources, and you're making the people who are perpetuating that you do that richer. Because you know what? Rich people don't do that.
No, a matter of fact.
How many presents do rich people buy their kids?
One.
If that, sometimes. Because they get stuff all the time.
Yeah, a lot of my military friends, because we're all in the military, a lot of us didn't even shop. Okay, here's what we did. I remember one Christmas. It was like 12 years ago. I went to a friend's house. They invited me over. And they had all these presents around the tree. I'm thinking, oh man, white people always have presents. They could be the lowest ranking.
The white people always
have it. Come to find out, it was just decoration.
Right, don't get it.
It was just decoration
up in here. We perpetrating.
There was one present for the kids for Christmas morning, and then what they did was they waited till those after Christmas sales, and then they went shopping.
Yep,
and they cleaned up.
But I don't even go after Christmas.
Yeah, I don't need to do that.
If I didn't need it before Christmas, I probably didn't need it after Christmas either. And so we just got to be wise, because we also talk about this on the show.
Start changing our thinking. Yeah. That's our problem.
You guys just know this if you didn't watch the last show, that Black people make up 87% of the consumers. And so let's just say on Friday, when Black Friday comes, it's going to be 87% of Black people spending money. Okay? And we make up we're the least in population, well, besides Asians, but they're starting to catch us. We're 14% of the population, but we make up 87% of the consumer spending. So we need to
why do you think they call that Black Friday?
Right, okay. But, we just have to be cognizant of those things. You don't need those things. What you need especially in this time that we're going through, you need money. Cash is king. I always tell my daughter that cash is king. Don't trick off your money. Save your money, because there's nothing like trying to take those brand new shoes to pay your phone bill, or your water bill. You need money. You need to be liquid. Let's say all the credit, because remember back in the day, in 2008, when the financial crisis happened. Yeah. Credit card companies was like, oh, yeah, you used to have a $5,000 credit limit.
Yeah, they lowered your limit. Mm-hmm.
You lowered your limit, and then let's say you...
And then your APR goes up.
Exactly. And then your credit goes down.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And that's why it's so important, because now they're changing the game in the new year that's coming up. A lot of people have heard about it, but they aren't researching what's going on. So if you've been saving for a new house and you're out there tricking off your money because of this Christmas, I'm not saying don't have a Christmas, but, I mean, is it really that important?
Well, some people are just unaware. Mm-hmm. If you really ask them, well, why do you need to get out there on Black Friday? Mm-hmm. Or they're more like to say, well, I saw the sale in the news in the paper. Yeah,
but it only says 3 available.
But you didn't know that before you got this paper. Before you got the paper, you didn't need a new. Do they even, like I said, sell DVDs, whatever anymore?
Digital download. Whatever,
yeah. Did you need that before they told you needed it, or now all of a sudden because there's a sale you need it?
Right. And we're programmed. Well,
we're very programmed.
We have to break that cycle. Let's start teaching our kids to start saving our money and do like the other people do. It's in the Bible all the time. You save money during a drought, and then you buy.
Yes.
When the flood things come, because nobody else can afford it. It's.
It also talks about, since you want to keep talking about the Bible up in here, a woman is wise with the finance. She does not take the household finance. I'm obviously paraphrasing it, but she doesn't take the household finances and just do away with it and act frivolously with it. She is smart. She is a steward over money. That's what it says. She is a good steward over money.
Yeah, it used to be.
Right. Well, she's supposed to be. I mean, that's why they used to, back in the day, used to call it home economics.
Right.
Because the women, and I know a lot of people take issue with that now, especially a lot of feminists, the woman learned how to economically make the household sound. Mm-hmm. That is by sewing, cooking from scratch. Yes. Like I said, she wasn't coming home with an arm full of McDonald's bags.
Exactly. Ramen and Top Ramen.
The husband had one job, but she knew how to make the money stretch. Mm-hmm. She went and found sales on meat and all that kind of stuff.
Remember, a good point. When James got killed, that's when Florida went and got a job.
Right.
You know what I mean? I mean, she had to do what she had to do.
Driving the bus?
Yeah, she started driving the bus and, everything she had to do. But James was working part, wherever he could, he'd give the money to her. And,
right.
It's just, there's just so many things we can do to, like you said on your show, nobody's going to save Black people but Black people. We
got to save ourselves, and saving ourselves takes place when we become knowledgeable about our situation. That's a trash truck, you guys. But when we become knowledgeable about our situation, that's how you save yourselves, because they say, Al, he hates when I say this because he says people use it all the time, but when you know better, you do better.
Right.
And the key word is know.
No.
When you know, then you change the course that you've been on. Like that program I was watching the other day when it was talking about the destitute situation in the Black community as far as Black single moms and, the dads not sticking around. Now, this was done in the 80s. And most of those people said that they were in that situation because that's what their mamas did. That's what the grandmas did. And so that in reverse, the grandmama taught the mama taught the girls, and the girls are just having all these kids by these different dudes and not even seeing it. They were just blatant about, I don't see the importance of having a man around. What I need a man around.
Right.
And not to cut you off, but the other dude that was kind of schooling the white reporter, he says, well, it's like this, and it blew my mind. He says, the welfare check is really the backbone of the family. And they keep the man around because he's the physical part.
Right.
And so if you put them together,
that complete.
Makes it right.
She's complete.
But it's twisted, but that's how it is. And I was like, wow. Mm-hmm. I wonder if people even know that's going on like that.
It makes sense. And then, you got these Christmas things. Okay, ladies, if you want to give your kids a good Christmas, that's great. But Ray and Pookie, stop sending money to Ray and Pookie who put themselves in a situation. I'm not saying everybody that goes to jail deserves to be treated that way. Like I said, my mom will not visit me in jail if it's for some bullshit.
Okay, she's like, you on don't drop the soap,
Right,
boo.
right. But if I went in there for involuntary manslaughter, like an auto accident or something, that's different. But she's not going to do that for bullshit. Do you know there are women out here that are making jail
comfortable?
Yeah, they're making jail comfortable for their man that's in there. Now, here's the thing. And somebody asked me, they go down, I don't understand why he keeps going back in there. Because you keep making it comfortable for him to go back in there.
Right.
If he knows,
got me.
Yeah, if he knows he has no option. Ladies, have you ever wondered, like, when it's like the 25th or 24th of the month, that's when he wants to argue with you?
You stupid.
And then if that's the excuse to leave, and then after the rent is paid, he shows back up. There's a method to our madness as men, especially these feminized men. Have you noticed that pattern? I'm not saying you've experienced, but you know what I'm talking about. You have girlfriends that they always argue. I just noticed I had friends that she'd call me up and be like, this motherfucker, da, 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 da. And I said,
I'm going to be real brutally honest with you. Now, Demetra, not the Demetra now, but Demetra was once young.
Yes.
And so I dealt with dudes something like that, but I'm going to tell you one thing, because I did have a wise mama. One thing I never did was if I was with a no good dude, and I had been, I never depended on that no good dude. I never gave that dude something I needed for me and my child. Right. None of that kind of stuff.
Well, you got women that got it backwards.
Shit. What the hell? And my motto is, if you go to jail, shit, you on your own, especially if it's for some BS like you said, but that never would give you my resources to take care of my child. So, like you said, you can be living comfortable, up in jail, and hell, you eating better. We ain't ate top ramen in 2 weeks.
Right.
But you got a whole stack.
He's got corn chips, all the good stuff.
You gonna eat what they giving you 3 times a day.
People say, you don't know what you're talking about. Ask yourself that. The money that you use, if you don't want to make this man a man, as long as you keep enabling him, he's going to run away from his responsibilities, and he wants you to set him
and
up.
Then another thing, too, like I said, I watched the program. Me and my daughter actually watched it. Because a lot of these dudes were just very blatant. And forgive me, I can't think of the name of the show. I don't want to give you guys the wrong title, but a lot of the men on there were just blatant, like, yeah, I saw her, she was cute, we did it, and she got the kid, and what did they say? The mama's baby, daddy's baby. This was their attitude. And so I was telling my daughter, I said, you see that? I said, but the other part of me wants to say, you know what, girl? To these women, why you keep laying down with this dude? Right. He done already left you. There was one girl who had 3 kids by a dude who had a total of 7 kids, would have been 9, but 2 of them passed, one by abortion, one by a miscarriage. But this dude was 26, would have had a potential 9 kids, had 3 with her. He coming and going as he pleased. He says, nah, I would never marry, because I'm not really trying to be married. And so I'm thinking, why y'all women keep laying up with these dudes? These dudes are not showing you any promise at all. But yet you keep, because like I said, I've been young once. I'm young now. Don't get the game messed up.
You're young, 26. Okay?
I've been young once, so I kind of, not to that degree. I understand, wanting to be with a dude and all that, but I never took it that far to where I'm just going to keep getting knocked up by a bunch of dudes and having all these kids and, they coming in and out. No, I was never none of that. Because I had a daughter and I didn't want to show her that. I didn't want her, like I joked with my daughter as we were watching it. I said, I had you when I was 21. You about to be 26. We made it. Because
exactly.
She doesn't have any kids.
Well, yeah, we don't have any kids. And I'm going to tell you, kudos to you, because Deanna's got a nice man that wants to be up under her. She's like, nah, dog. I got things to do.
She's like, I love you, boo, but that I'm leaving school, I got to go finish the other stuff that I said I was going to do. Now, when I'm done, you still here?
Maybe.
But she was always honest about that. She wasn't, just trying to string them along and stuff. But she was like, you drive a hard bargain because he's got a nice gig and got some things going on. But she's like,
maybe
it would just be comfortable for me to do that.
Let me go do my thing.
Yeah, let me go do my thing.
And then if it's meant to be, well,
I'm like, okay.
Yes, kudos. In my day, we call those FEMACs. Okay, they're just having fun, hitting it and quitting it and going by.
Well, she gonna go live her life.
But and that's the thing. The sad thing about your daughter is, I look at her and she's an anomaly.
Why do people say that though? Because to me, I think that's normal.
It's supposed to be normal.
I think it should be. I think,
but
that's normal.
It isn't. We live in a Pizarro world. You know what I mean? Where everything's backwards. You got these young girls ruining their lives over niggas that ain't got pot to piss in. I got a niece that did the same thing, so don't think I'm just, shouting out at people. Niggas ain't got nothing. They're just ruining their lives, becoming parents and all this responsibility. They can't get jobs. There are no jobs out there. They're not prepared. And then here comes your daughter doing the exact opposite.
Well, I mean, you teach from experience. At least you should. And so I just, as much as I could, I taught my daughter. I didn't want, because like I said, I wasn't perfect. I'm not perfect now. I didn't want my daughter to go through the things I did with men, dudes that ain't no good and just taking you through the bullshit and back. I was always brutally honest with her. Listen, as my dad was saying, I know this is kind of vulgar, but he says a man can get
pussy anywhere
before he can get food. And the same thing is true for a woman. Hell, he can walk outside and
D is everywhere. D is everywhere.
But it's hard. I don't say it's not impossible, but it's getting harder and harder nowadays to find a man who is going to do what men do. And so,
diamond in the rough.
Right. So I taught her, don't give your time to any old dude who ain't trying to, for one, because my dad said, as a woman, you either a plaything or you the main thing. Ooh. Don't be with no dude who gonna make you the play. But it's the truth.
Yeah, he's so wise.
Don't be with a man who gonna make you his plaything. If he's not willing to make you his main thing, stop wasting your time with him.
Can you talk to your sister? If that's what Dad said.
She said she's the main thing right now.
Right, okay, all right.
You trying to be plaything.
No, but in all seriousness, for the you moms out there that are working hard and you're stressing yourself out, don't put yourself in a position to be stressed out even that much more.
If you got 2 kids, don't get 3 by getting a man who is not providing, who is a deficit on your household, who is just making life, like you said, life hard and stressful. Get you a man that's going to say, baby, I see you got a need and I'm here to supply that. I'm here to fill in the gap. I'm here to make, because that's what a relationship is supposed to be, to make life easier. I'll ease your burdens, you ease mine.
1
together we go.
Right. Is 2.
It's not, I'm a clam on to you and drag you down with all my woes. And first of all...
And stop dealing with the excuses. All these dudes with these bullshit excuses. The white man and this is that. If you really want to get a job, regardless of what that job is, go get that job.
Yeah, I mean, and, like I said, I was younger and I, ended up with knuckleheads. My dad was just like, what? But I did. I did. I'm not going to sit up here and pretend like I didn't. I ended up with knuckleheads, but...
you came out of it.
As an adult, a woman who's been there and done that, I would tell any woman, don't deal with no man who ain't got no job. Yes, I said who ain't got no. Don't deal with a man who ain't got no job. Now, it's different if he has some money, maybe just lost his job, he's in transition. But if, like you said, you come across that dude, see what happened was...
3 o'clock, you talk about, I'm going to go look for work.
Yeah, well, what you're finna do is come with the BS. So if you are really about what you say you're about, go do all that, because it's about showing and proving. It's not what you know is what you can prove, and not what you say is what you can prove. So if you prove that you can take care of me,
exactly,
then, or not even really, because I know a lot of men like, well, I got to take care of you. At least to the point where I'm not taking care of your ass.
Right, exactly. And like I said, all you single moms, hey, I know you guys work hard. I know you guys deserve better than what you're getting. But when you lower your standards and accept anything that just comes along, then you deserve what you get.
And that's the same thing for men. Don't be with no lackluster ass woman who dragging you down and who's just a deficit in your life. Don't be with her. And
let me tell you, that 15 minutes of pleasure, it ain't worth a lifetime of pain.
18 years.
Yeah, it ain't worth a lifetime of pain. I'm sorry. It just is what it is. But hey, you guys been listening to the Demetra K Show podcast. Don't believe the hype, you guys. I'm telling you, check out Demetra on Sundays at 3 p.m. Facebook Live. You guys can chime in, and she guarantees to answer every single bit of question. You can also find her on YouTube at News from the Edgemont and Demetra K YouTube channel. So you guys can see what she looks like and see what she's working with. But I'm telling you, a lot of instinctual information is on her show. Last show, I put that video up where you were talking about the black businesses. That kind of went with what you were saying for the rest of the show. And we talk about that. So importantly, the economics within the black community. It is so important that we break the chain. What's the definition of insanity?
doing the same thing, expecting different results.
And that's what's happening in our community. Grandmama did it, mama did it, and then now I'm of age. Now I'm going to do the same thing, and you expect the situation to get better?
Not to me.
It's just not going to happen. So you guys, Thanksgiving's coming up. You guys enjoy Thanksgiving, all that fried turkey. I suggest not doing it, but if you're going to do it, do it well. And Black Friday is Friday, and they call it Black Friday because
they're going to get your black ass dollars.
That's it. 87% of that
87%
is black
people.
So just think about that when you guys are out there catching a case. And that's what could happen if you guys pushing and shoving. We'll see you guys again next week. 2 + 2.